The following content is brought to you by MYND Initiative Incorporated. The opinions expressed in the following conversation are of the hosts and do not in any way represent the opinions of MYND Initiative as a whole. Some themes in this series may be distressing or triggering for some listeners, and so viewer discretion is advised. If any of the content does trigger uncomfortable feelings or cause distress, we encourage you to reach out to us via our Facebook page or seek further support from beyondblue.org or contact Lifeline on 13 11 14 for 24/7 over-the-phone support. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we all stand, and we extend our respect to the elders, both past and present.
Hi everyone, my name's Jason and this is my friend Bajan, and we have a show called Does It Mess With Your Mind, where we talk about mental health issues and the stigma behind mental health, and we give book reviews and we just talk about lifestyle and everything else that may impact your mental health. Welcome everyone. Does It Mess With Your Mind with Pajan? I'm your co-host Jason. How are you tonight, Pajan?
I'm doing fantastic, Jason. How are you?
Not too bad. We're going to talk about relationships. Part 3. We're going to talk about loved ones and community. How do you feel about after last week's chat and everything else? You ready for tonight?
Oh man, I'm like super duper pumped because we had a very good chat about relationships last week and the week before that, and every time we talk about this, we just go deeper and deeper, and we just discover that there's a lot more things that we can cover. So yeah, it's like good fodder for our future YouTube videos.
Awesome. Let me ask you a question. Who are your loved ones in your life right now? Like, when you think about your loved ones, what does that encompass?
Ooh. When I think of people I love, I would definitely say people who vibe with me, people who have the same energy as me, people who look at life the same way I do, as in, yeah, those. It's like, I would definitely go back to last week and then say that it's the vibe, it's the frequency that you, and the perspective that you have in your life that determines whether you click or not, and the people you click with, you don't even need to fall in love with them. It just automatically happens. You just love them, you just adore them, and you just want to spend every single moment with those people. A few days ago, I read an interesting line on a book. It's like every person likes to swim at their own depth. You can go down to their depth and then swim with them for a while, but then you will get bored and you will eventually go up to your own depth. You can always force someone else to come down to your depth and then force them to swim with you for a while, but eventually they will leave because they don't want to swim in that depth, and they can't swim in that depth. So basically, for me, people I love, people I care about, those are the people who swim in the same depth as me. Even if they are not in very close proximity with me, they swim in the same depth with me, if that makes sense, Jason.
Yeah, it kind of does make sense. A bit of a different answer than I was expecting. Do you have any brothers or sisters yourself? Are you close to your brothers and sisters? Are any of them like loved ones, but they don't vibe on that same kind of level that you're talking about?
Yeah, I do. And frankly, I just don't spend much time with people that I don't vibe with. I mean, why go where my energy is not accepted? Why go where my energy is not reciprocated? And why go where my energy just doesn't multiply itself? I just want to focus on finding people with whom my energy matches, with whom I enjoy my time, with whom I have like these wonderful conversations about life and everything in life. So I have a lot of people in my life, my relatives and everyone who I don't vibe with, and I just don't pretend to spend any time with them. I just don't spend any time with them. There may be certain festivals or events that where we meet together. But even then, it's just going to be for that occasion, and we're going to limit our conversation to the regular small talk, I would say, for lack of a better word. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I have those people, but I don't even waste my time spending with them. I just try to find and focus on people with whom my energy matches. Well, in that situation, what would you do, Jason?
Well, different age group here. I'm in my 40s, I guess. And for me, I have my own family, and then I have my extended family. So my wife and my children. I have my brothers, obviously, from my parents. My parents have passed on now. And as you say, they don't vibe on the same sort of energy for me, but I still love them. And as hard as it is to kind of have conversations with them and everything else, because we just don't see things the same way, I would still be there for them in a heartbeat. Uh, and I guess I was just wondering, like, when we talk about loved ones and we talk about vibes and energy, um, there's a real a change of energy as life goes on. So you're in your early 20s, life is full of wonder, and you've got this energy about life and everything else. It's just interesting to hear what your view of loved ones is at this point in time in your life. You've talked about your grandma before, your grandmother, and when you were younger, that vibe and energy, because you loved how she was in your life. Do you want to tell me about what that energy was and how you connected with that energy?
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Simple. Yeah, that's it, man. Unconditional love. No matter what I did, no matter how bratty I was, no matter how many times I messed up, and no matter how many times he scolded me, there was still that undercurrent of life, unconditional love. And I would definitely say that's the key theme that I connected with her. And that is the kind of relationship that I want to foster with everyone that I meet. It's not just unconditional love, it's just unconditional acceptance of who we are, what we are. Having said that, I also mentioned earlier in that I do not waste my time with people I don't vibe with. Yeah, I do not, I don't do that, but if they need my help, I'll be there for them. If they need something, I'll be there for them. It's just that I won't waste my time with them talking about things that I do not enjoy talking about. I mean, I'm here to enjoy life, man. We only get one life, and why waste our life talking about things that I don't enjoy? If you don't enjoy talking to me, it's completely fine. If you need any help, I'll be there to help you. But I will not waste my time talking to you about things that I do not care about.
Okay. That's an interesting outlook. So what's one of the beautiful things that you talk about at the moment with someone that you love?
Right now, this conversation that I'm having with you, it's a fantastic example because it goes right to the core of the matter. What we talk about is not an everyday coffee conversation that we have with our friends and family and coworkers and everyone. It's something different. It's something deeper that tries to penetrate the truth that is hidden within the mask that we put on every single day. I mean, all of us think. I overthink a lot. I think a lot every single day. And I do not show 90% of my thoughts to the outside world. And right now, when I'm talking with you, all my thoughts are like out in the open, out in the wild. So yeah, it is this kind of conversation where there is no mask, there is no facade, there's nothing, there's no filters at all. It's just pure in the moment, on the go, talk about something that's deeply repressed in our lives. In because when I try to talk to people about these topics, I feel the energy like suddenly it goes it goes down, and the vibe goes like very closed off and tight, and it's like difficult to continue this kind of conversation. But with you and with everyone at Mind, these kind of conversations just flow, they just happen. And these are the conversations that I believe matters, Jason. These are the conversations that matter. And the things that we are doing at Mind to just raise awareness about these, about the importance of having these kind of conversations, that I say is a good way to live. What is your opinion on this, Jason? How would you spend your time?
Ooh, that's a very loaded question. I was actually, when you're talking about it there, like difficult conversations, especially difficult conversations with loved ones, I was thinking about how sometimes you need to build relationships and sometimes you need to rebuild relationships. For me personally, when one of my parents passed on, a lot of my relationships with my brothers were just really strained for different reasons. But things just happened, and one thing led on to another thing, which led on to another thing, and it really just broke down those relationships. And trying to rebuild them now is a really hard task, because where I am, being able to talk to you guys and be able to bring out my feelings and thoughts and workshop through mental health, the other people within that relationship don't have that. They don't have that sounding board, and this kind of advice. So I think it makes it really hard for them to understand where I'm coming from. Do you think that there's any tools or anything like that that help someone build up a relationship so that way they can communicate better? So that way you can build a relationship?
No, that's a tough question, because I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychotherapist. Everything I say, everything I speak about here, it just comes from my own personal experience and from my own exploration of life. And now when you ask me, is there any tool that we can use to rebuild our relationship? It just reminds me of one quotation. You cannot clap with one hand. You need two hands to clap. You cannot shake hands with just one hand. You need two hands to shake. I mean, you can give your all in a relationship, but if the other person is simply not interested, there's no way you can build a relationship. You can give your all in the relationship, but if the other person refuses to see the way you see the relationship going, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, the other person can try all they want to reconnect with you, but if you are simply not interested, it's not going to happen. So the only tool I would say is to stop forcing relationships, because things that happen just happen. Relationships that happen just happen. Now just go back in your life and think about the best relationships and the best friendships that you have ever had. You didn't need to force them. They just happened. They just clicked. So yeah, that's the only tool I would say. Just never try to force a relationship, because it just breaks the existing bond even further. So the only way to do is just stop trying to mend relationships. Just give it your best. If the other person is not reciprocating, if they are not responsive, why bother, man? There are like billions of people in the world. Why bother with that? I know this sounds like really hardcore, especially when it comes to like talking to family, but but then again, okay, what I'm going to say might be controversial, and not everybody will agree with this, but I have to say this in this context. So family is just a social construct that we created as humans, as human species, as civilization progressed. Family, I would go on to say that in ancient times, family was the core bond that we had for social protection and for our security and safety. But right now, the world is globalized. Anybody can connect with anybody. And it's like you can meet 100 times more people than our grandfathers and their grandfathers used to meet in an entire lifetime. You can do that in like just 1 year if you make the effort. Like there's an abundance of people, like-minded people willing to connect with you. Why bother? Why waste our time like fixing the broken relationships that are not going to be mended? Why waste our time talking or trying to reconnect with people who are not interested? Just why bother, man? It's just a waste of our time, our energy, our effort, and it just saps life away from us.
Interesting. Let's change tack for a little bit. You see a beautiful woman and you wanna meet her. Like she's just like, wow, I've gotta talk to her. What's your approach in that kind of situation? How do you get that initial connection and how do you give a good impression so she wants to talk back?
Oh wow, did you like read my mind? Because that's the exact issue that I was like tackling earlier today. And what I realized is that again, it goes back to the same thing. You can't force a relationship. Yeah, the girl in front of you is beautiful. I just want to go and talk to her and just be lost in in the beauty that she gives out in the world. However, if she's not interested, man. I just go out there, introduce myself, say hi, and then just speak out my heart. Now the ball is in her court. It is her choice to either accept my advance or to reject it. It's her choice, man. There's nothing I can do to impress her. There's nothing I can do to like force her or like manipulate her into relationship. Yeah, in the past, I used to try to do that. But I've realized that it's a waste of time, energy, and effort. If you see a beautiful girl, you just go out there, talk to her, just introduce yourself, say hi, and if I was in that place, I'd just say, I'd love to take you out for coffee, something like that. Now, depending on her response, I mean, I can't control her response. If she says, okay, we will meet out for coffee. If she says she has a boyfriend, I'll say, he's a lucky man. You're still beautiful. Have a lovely day. Just move on, man. If it is not happening, it's not happening. There's no point in forcing anything out. There's no point. So the answer is the same. Even if be it a beautiful girl that I see, be it a friend that I haven't talked to in a long time, be it another person that I don't see eye to eye with, never try to force a relationship. If it clicks, it just clicks. It just happens. There's no need to force anything to happen.
So say she does say that you can take her out on a coffee. When you're sitting there and having that coffee and you're trying to impress her,
No.
who should be doing most of the talking?
Again, it just comes from like, I come from a completely different perspective. I never think about impressing people. It's just about like, okay, here's a metaphor. The way I see the world is this. I am a flower. All I can do is just give out my aroma. All the people in the world, all the girls in the world, all the friends in the world, all the other people in the world, they are butterflies. I just give out my aroma, and there are certain butterflies who love that aroma and who will come to that flower. And there are other butterflies who hate that aroma. There's nothing I can do, man. All I can do is just show give out my aroma, and my aroma in this case is my personality, the way I see life, my perspective. That's it. That's all I can do. And if the other person is like interested in that aroma, if the other person is interested in that personality, boom, we click. This like the need to impress someone, it just vanishes. There is no need to impress someone. I mean, I don't even know her. The only thing I know about her is I find her absolutely gorgeous. That's it. But I do not know anything else about her. So why put her on a pedestal and then say, damn it, I have to impress her. What do I say to impress her? What do I do to impress her? Isn't that just a waste of time, Jason? Isn't that a waste of energy? And isn't that just taking life away from you?
So if you're sitting in that conversation and you're doing what you're saying there, and she's not trying to impress you, she's just being herself, what's your response if you don't actually like the way how she's acting because she's not trying to impress you. She doesn't seem happy with you.
It's simple, man. It was lovely meeting you. Have a lovely time. Bye-bye. Just move on, man. Just move on. I mean, there's no point in trying to force any kind of relationship with anybody.
It seems incredibly shallow without depth.
Come again. Can you unpack that question, please?
So without like getting into what might be that person's fundamental core, like what are their values? What is it that they are interested in life? Without like asking those questions and kind of asking a person about who they actually are, they might not see you as interesting or even want to talk to you because you seem shallow, because you're just like, I'm just talking about anything. I'm throwing out my aroma. If you don't like it, see you later. Doesn't that seem shallow to you?
No. The way you're
Do you
like
stop and smell her aroma?
Okay, let me just explain what I mean by aroma. What I mean by aroma is my personality. It is the way I see the world. It is my perspective, right? It is, and in my perspective, everything is a mystery. This beautiful girl in front of me, I want to know everything about her. Who is she? What does she like? What is she? Why is she the way she is? What does she believe in? What does she want? What is beauty for her? What is that mysterious aura, that mysterious energy that attracts me to her? What is it? Of course, I'm going to be super curious about her. Now, if she doesn't answer any of my questions enthusiastically, if she does not seem as interested in answering those questions, then why would I bother wasting my time with her? I mean, I want someone who is as enthusiastic as me. I'm super enthusiastic about talking to that girl. And if she is as enthusiastic as me, boom, we click. If she's not, what can I do, man? I can't like force enthusiasm in anybody. I don't think that's shallow at all. I think that's like the best way to like filter people out, because I want the people in my life who have the same energy as me, who have the same excitement in life as me. I don't want someone who is less interested in me, man. I want everyone to be equally as interested in me as I'm interested in them. And it goes back to the old, you can't clap with you can't clap with one hand analogy. If you want to build a relationship, it has to be two-way. Both the people have to be on the same depth. They have to have the same enthusiasm, same energy. Even if we don't see eye to eye, it doesn't matter. What matters is the energy. It is the enthusiasm, the excitement that you have within you to connect with the other person. I don't see it as shallow. I see it as like the deepest connection that you can make with anyone.
Interesting. Very interesting. What was the last romance movie you watched?
Ooh. I have to think about that, because here's a strange thing. When I do things, I just do them. I don't memorize anything. I don't remember a lot of things. And if you ask me what I did yesterday or maybe even earlier today, I'm like, I have to think about it, because I do not know. Even right now, I'm just speaking. I'm just saying whatever is coming to my mind. And if you ask me an hour from now, what did you talk about? I'm like, I have no idea what I talked about, man. I was just on the moment, on the go, right here in this moment, man. So one way to say it is, I live for this moment in this moment, rather than clinging to the past or worrying about the future. I just am here. And that's the best way I can answer this question, because frankly, I don't remember the last movie I watched. I'm trying to remember it, but it's just not in my mind. Or maybe I have a very bad memory.
Okay. So let's move on to community. So let's go. So are you active in your community, and what is your community?
That's a tough question. You'll have to define the word community for me. What does community mean for you?
Community for me is being active in, say, mental health, or being active in something that I value. Like I like hi-fi stuff, so I'm active in that community, always talking about different speakers and stuff like that. I'm active in my local community, just going out and participating in like fun runs and stuff like that. And school PNC, all of that kind of stuff. So community is just what you do to increase that value in that larger group of people that you interact with.
All right. Okay. I am not active in my community because right now I'm on an intense internal journey to discover who I am, what I believe, why I'm the way I am.
Well, that's interesting.
However, that's the journey I'm in, and that has been my primary focus for a couple of years now, and it's still ongoing, and I know it's going to be continuing. However, I don't want to justify it by coming up with some bullshit reason. No, this is my truth. I'm not active in my community because I'm in my own personal journey. And for me, it's the path that I take alone, and other people can help me see a new perspective. And I can help other people see a new perspective. But other than that, I can't do anything for anyone. I can only light the way, show the path. It's for them to take the path they want to take. Yeah, that's it.
So one of the interesting things is like when you read self-help books and you read like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, like once you develop yourself, which you just said you're going through a journey for then, once you work out who you are, then being of service to your community or to humanity at large is one of the fundamental things of making happiness, because you're putting yourself out there and the knowledge that you've gained from your life becomes global knowledge. You are helping humanity on. This that you're doing within MYND is helping the community of MYND to be better people. Do you think that that is a good love for you?
Yes, it is. It is. When I said I am on an intense internal journey, it is to understand myself. Because if I do not understand myself, how can I expect myself to understand other people? How can I expect myself to help other people? I can't do that without having helped myself. I can't help anyone else, because if I'm not helping myself, I am the one who needs help. And if I'm in need of help, how can I help other people? As they say in the airplane, always put on your oxygen mask before you help others. I'm just putting on my oxygen mask. I'm just trying to figure out my own life and figure out who I am, what I am. Before I can go out into the larger community and contribute actively. And yeah, to answer your previous question, I'm not active in the community right now, but I intend to do so. I intend to become a much larger part of the community as I unravel the tangled mess within me.
Okay, interesting.
And I think this is also a good topic for us to discuss in one of our future episodes, the tangled mess that we are inside our heads, that we hide so desperately.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about in our burnout episode was our ability to talk really fast within our head. But if we write it down, or if we verbally talk out what we're thinking, we actually slow down our thought pattern and we get a better understanding of what we are trying to achieve. We actually coach ourselves. So how much do you actually, when you're going through this journey, how much do you get out of your own head and put that onto paper or talk about it and stuff like that, so you slow down what you're thinking about and really get an intense picture of what you're seeing?
I write every day, man. I write every single day. Yes,
Yeah.
there are like so many thoughts, the tangled patterns, the conditioning, the belief system, the crystallized habits. There are so many of them that if I try to go through them in my head, I can't. It's like it's as if like I'm trying to push a massive boulder up hills. I can't do that, which is why I write every single day. And what that has done for me is it has helped me clarify my thoughts, clarify and understand my patterns, and reveal the crystallized habits that I do not need to follow anymore. Basically, it has changed me fundamentally. And talking of tools again, this is one of the best tools that you can use to help yourself to get out of that tangled mess. Either write yourself if you are a writing kind of person, or record yourself speaking if you are a speaking kind of person. Just or maybe even just speak to someone else if you are that if you are comfortable with that. But whatever you do, don't let your thoughts rot inside your mind. Just let them out, because thoughts are like potatoes. One rotten potato rots the whole bag, destroys the whole bag. One bad thought, it just avalanches, snowballs into millions of other negative thoughts that just drag you down every single time. It's like a quicksand.
So one last question for tonight before we wrap it up. Do you write about relationships, and is writing about relationships a good tool for dealing with difficult relationships? Do you reckon?
Of course, man, of course. How about there's a catch? When I say writing about relationship is a good thing, I don't mean relationship with other people. It's your relationship with yourself. It's my relationship with myself. That is what I write about. Because the outer world, the external world, is nothing but a projection of my internal world. It is nothing but a projection of my internal perspective, my belief system. The way I see the world, the things that I believe is the way I see the world. That's it. So the first thing that you need to do is just write about who, write about what, write about your relationship with yourself. If your relationship with yourself is not harmonious, how can you expect your relationship with everybody else to be harmonious, man? That's the most important thing. Just try to untangle the mess within your head. We will definitely discuss this topic in a future episode. But yeah, that's the only answer I can give you right now in brief. Write and untangle the relationship, the mess that you have within you. Just create a harmony in your relationship, in your own life first, before you try to create harmony in the world.
Well, thank you very much for joining me tonight and talking about relationships. We've covered some interesting topics there, and I'm really thankful of what you pushed out, your opinions and everything else. Like, without you, this topic wouldn't have happened. Want to thank Will. Thank you for editing all of our videos again. Such an awesome job. I'm sure you'll chuck a whole lot of pictures over to make us look much prettier than what we really am. I want to thank Christina, and want to thank the MYND Initiative as a whole for hosting us every single week and letting us put our questions and our thoughts out there. Thank you, everyone. If anything tonight has made you feel off, make sure you reach out to us. Let us know. Let us know how we're going in the comments. And if something's going wrong for you and you feel like you need to talk, make sure you reach out to Beyond Blue, Lifeline, Sane, or go and get professional help from a doctor or a psychologist. Thank you, everyone. Bajan, good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the wonderful questions. Thank you. Have a lovely night.
Bye.